Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's March 13th, 2025, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on what's been going on here. So yesterday we did have the internal contents claims adjuster come and take lots of pictures. Now, of course, it's his limited abilities because the roof is covering so much of the contents inside of here and all. But I spent probably a couple hours. He was here for quite a while, taking pictures and you know, evaluating the situation. And it's challenging because he couldn't get to see much of the things. But we walked around and looked in every nook and cranny that you could. Really knowledgeable man and all. And so one of the things I wanted to do was share what I'm learning about insurance coverage and all, and things to be aware of. I'll tell you a quick story. Back when Thea and I were still at Cornell, I worked, I can't remember whether it was during my residency or when I was an instructor, emergency and critical care service there. I was working very, very long hours. It was, you know, so I was sleeping one day off, and it was at nighttime, and the dogs started barking. And I just thought we're out in the country, and I just thought they were barking at something, and I really did not want to get up and all. And Thea woke me up and said something's going on. So because the dogs kept barking, and so there were and the dogs were fenced in, but there were a couple of thieves out there, and they had broken into our truck. And I had lots of emergency medical equipment in the truck as well, but they had torn the steering column apart. And I think the thing that really stirred me to move quickly, because I was dead to the world, was the sound of my tractor, my old Case 995 tractor that you've seen in some of my older videos here. Well, they were driving out the road. They had my medical supplies. They had parts of the truck in there as well, and I guess they were inebriated. And so I got on the phone with the state police, and I could see, because we're up on the top of a big hill, I could see just where the tractor was going, gave them directions, and they ended up catching the guys. And they're part of, I guess, an organized system where people from out of state would hire local people to steal things, put them in tractor trailers, and then sell them someplace else. I had never heard of such a thing. But that was, you know, felt really violated. And at that time we had State Farm insurance. And we had State Farm insurance on this place here for years before we moved to the Ithaca area. And we just stayed with State Farm, had the place that we got there insured there, and our vehicles were insured by State Farm. They're always great. And probably, I think within a week's time, the checks were caught, things were taken care of, compensated for the medical supplies that were stolen. Everything really worked out pretty well. And when so I had great experiences with an insurance company before, and we only dealt with the I guess you'd call them the sales agent, the person who sold us the policy and all. And so when we came back here, we met with our State Farm representative here. Everything was going great. We started the nursery business. State Farm says, we can't cover nurseries and all. So that's when we went to Farm Family Insurance Carrier at that time, which is a part of American National Insurance Company, a division of them, I guess. So we've had this for years now, the insurance company here, and every year, I'm sorry this is such a long story, but I just want to explain things based on my experience and perspective. But what ended up happening was we had every year we'd sit down with our insurance agent and go over things, prices going up on things. We made sure that each piece of equipment, with the excavator, the track loader, the Kubota Grand L 6060, the B2601, the Buzz, the big mower, all those things, because I had loans on them. I still have loans on them, and all of those pieces of equipment were insured. the prices of those pieces of equipment have, over 3 years' time, went up dramatically. Even the Avant 860i, this machine, I bought this in, I think it was May or June, and it has already increased thousands of dollars. The Grandel 60 with all the attachments is now $130,000. And I made videos in the past about how you go on the Kubota website and actually design with all the accessories, with the exception of a few accessories. You can build your piece of equipment. So I felt really comfortable with the insurance, and all of my previous experiences made me feel really comfortable with it. And there has been all of the delays and poor communications with the insurance company, claims adjuster, the senior claims adjuster, poor communications with them, and then the first, what I say is the main building adjuster. That person didn't respond at all. They sent out a secondary one a couple weeks later, and he was great. He came from Buffalo, went through the whole building and all that, and they're the ones that look at the structure of the building itself. Then yesterday I had another gentleman come out. Both the last two adjusters were great. That came out and went through the contents as well. But all of this has made me, it's sort of made me sick to my stomach, gave me headaches, not sleeping well. Not just because of the what I would say is very poor communications, and I'd say negligence, not allowing for emergency service to try and stop anything from getting further damaged with the wall that's detached on the south wall of the main building up there that's still there, because more things are happening, and not coming in and doing the demo. I've been doing it myself here, keeping track of everything that I do and all. So today I posted an article on our website, mindfullivingsanctuary.com, be under articles, and it's about things that I've learned. Now it's a draft. It's like my second draft because I've been working on it, and it goes over so many different aspects of things that I think everybody should be aware of when they're getting insurance, and your responsibilities of going through the actual fine detail. The fine print. May not be such fine print, but it's buried deeper in the system. Because typically what I would do is we'd sit down and we go over, okay, here are the buildings that we've got, these are the new pieces of equipment we got, this we don't need insurance on anymore, that's gone, we sold that and all. This is what's in the building at this point. And we actually walk out here and look at everything, but it appears that I'm grossly underinsured for the contents of this building, because I'm atypical. I do my own, carpentry work, do my own construction, do all my metal fabrication, do all my mechanical work, do all my service and all this. I have all the different diagnostic tools. I have all the, we do our own, basically like an advanced DIY, not just a typical farmer in a sense. And then we have all the different farm tools. So all of those things need to be documented and make sure that you have adequate insurance on them. Because and I've written about a whole bunch of things, but co-insurance is a big thing that won't show up in the front of your insurance contract documents. You have to go further deep in and see that there's something like co-insurance. And like a simple example of co-insurance is, let's say the contents of whatever building it is that's damaged, you had an insured value of, say, $50,000 on it. And suppose you had $200,000 worth of things that should have been insured. Well, the insurance company looks at it as though, hey, you aren't paying the full amount. You should have been paying the premium every year for that full $200,000 amount. So they penalize you. So you don't get, if you should have had $200,000 worth of insurance and you only had $50,000 in insurance, you're going to be penalized and you won't get the full 50,000. You get a small fraction of that, because they're going to charge you for missing out on the opportunity of getting that premium, a higher premium. And no one had ever explained that to me before. Then I did the research on it and all, and I give examples and all, and I talk about documenting everything, regularly documenting, taking photographs, even all your communications, text, emails, phone conversations, any correspondence whatsoever needs to be documented, dated, and details. Any work that you do, I'm sorry, I see the winds are kicking up a little bit now. Any work that, try to get into a spot where the wind isn't going to be too bad. Any work that you do really has to be documented, what specifically you've done. And I've been doing this, I have a work log, communication log, those things there. But, it's like, I do building and all. So I have all, for example, here, all this new copper tubing in here. And it's expensive stuff. I have trusses in here. I have the Solex roof for the greenhouse in here. And the insurance agent never ever went over, we went out here and said, oh, we got all these things. But what should have happened was we should have had the discussion saying, well, we are way underinsured, so that I don't get penalized with the co-insurance clause. So just to make you aware of that. But there's several things that I've written about in the article. So I do encourage you, even if you have a modest, small little homestead, read the article, then go over your insurance policy, contact your insurance agent and see if you can get the most recent one, because you may have been upgrading things. And certainly, everyone knows that the price of eggs, you can't get away from the price of eggs is so much right now, because it's on everybody's talking about it. Well, the cost of building materials, the cost of all the other things that are in your buildings and all, you need to make sure that you're covering those things so that you don't get penalized if there is this co-insurance clause in your policy. So anyways, I just wanted to share what I've got. If there's people that have other experiences and all, please leave comments for the article on the website. Again, it's at mindfullivingsanctuary.com, all one word. And that's where you'll find that information, the article anyways. Leave a comment there so I can do further research on it if there's something. I'm still pretty tired and all, but I've been searching to try and get as much data as I can for that article, and I try to give some examples as well. So that's what this video is about today, just talking about that article that I've written, some of the experiences. And this isn't to poo-poo all the insurance companies, but things aren't the way they were years ago with the insurance companies. I've talked to different insurance agents and the adjusters, and they have told me that things are drastically different, that the insurance companies are in a tight spot, and they need to try and to generate as much revenue as possible and have as little expenses. And their expenses are paying us when there's a claim. God knows I didn't want this to happen. This is a lot of work and a lot of headache, but this can happen to anyone. And certainly we go over geographic location, things that they aren't going to cover, such as flood damage, fire damage, earthquakes. There's a whole bunch of things, so it depends on your geographic location and many of the details in your insurance policy. So I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to share that information. I did do some more work inside there. Thea and I did more work inside of the workshop, trying to get as many of the things cleaned up and moved into the shop there. I'll probably make another video soon about that so you can see where things are. I was able to get Suki and Pepe out in the last video, but it's a long, drawn-out process. When you're taking these panels down, you got to use the reciprocating saw, or the sawzall, some people call it, sectioning sections and all. But I'll cover that in another video. Well, anyways, I hope everybody stays safe and take care, and take care of looking at your insurance policy. No matter what insurance policies you got, just review them, get them out and look at them, make sure that you're covered. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, and bye-bye.